Hey guys, Kurt here of NK Garage, and we're back with another tool haul. The other day I got back on Facebook Marketplace and found a local listing for this Husky 2-tier toolbox. It's the ball bearing box. It's not in the best shape, but it was listed for $350 full of tools. So we went and bought it, and since then we spent the last 2 days organizing and cleaning all the tools. This stuff came out of a barn, so I'll throw up some quick little footage overlay. You guys can see some of the original condition. And it was rough, a lot of rust. This stuff sat in a bad environment. So we're cleaning everything so you guys can get a better view. But we actually listed the Husky box already, and within 1 day somebody already wants to come buy it. So I want to show you guys the box before it disappears. So let's dive into that and take a look. So this is the Husky ball bearing slide toolbox. It's got the name on top, toughest name in tools. Overall, I don't think it really is a bad box at all, but this guy was kind of rough to it, and it was kept in a barn. You can see there's a lot of the drawers are like bent. You know, I'm not really sure what he was doing with it. I don't know if that was transport or just poor ownership. But the ball bearing slides work nice. Whoever's buying this is going to have to do some work, just straighten out some of these drawers. Some of them stick a little bit like that, but I mean, it's potentially a very nice box. All the drawers have the drawer liner in them. Comes with the keys for the top and the bottom chest. And I'd say, you know, this could make a great starter chest for somebody or something, you know, maybe throw it back in a barn. You know, don't feel bad about it continuing to rust, but it's pretty cool. A lot of good storage in there. This thing weighed a lot. There was tons of tools in there. So we're in the cleaning process, and when we're done, we'll be right back and show you guys the haul. Alright guys, we're back. We got everything cleaned up, and we sold the box. We actually got $150 for that Husky toolbox. So forgot to mention that when we went to buy the $350 box full of tools, the guy mentioned he had more tools and more boxes. So we came home with all of these toolboxes, and they were stuffed with tools. So there's a lot more than what was originally we thought we were going to come home with. And we got an amazing deal on the extra stuff. We paid an extra $100, so we were at a total of $450 for everything. It's a great deal. Great buy. So let's jump in and take a look at the haul. Starting off, we have a large collection of ratchets, mostly Craftsman, but there's a couple of extras. Right here we have 2 half-inch drive Craftsman quick release ratchets. All of the Craftsman ratchets here today are USA made, except for the tri-wing ratchet, which was made in Taiwan. But we got 2 half-inch drive ratchets, fully functional, quick release. I believe these are older V series. This is a VF. And the next one is just a V. Condition is okay, some chrome missing, there was some rust. These tools came out of a barn, but we got them back in order, ready to be used again. Tri-ring ratchet. I do like these things. You know, they are not USA made, but they are definitely sturdy and reliable. Definitely a good beater ratchet. We've got a lot of 3/8 drive ratchets. There are 8 of them here that are made by Craftsman. So the first 6 here are the quick release. They sometimes call this the long lever style. And they're all in workable condition. I got all of them running. They're different series, so I'll flip them over so we can take a look. We've got the VM, followed by the VR, followed by a couple of Vs. Actually, 4 V series and a flying V series. And the cool thing about this flying V series ratchet is this is actually a pretty rare model. This is when they first started calling this the long lever style. They made this in '57 and discontinued it in '58, so this only was available for 1 to 2 years. This is the ratchet with the oil port, and these had a known issue. The lever here was lifted off of the face of the ratchet. They fixed that later on, but it was prone to breaking off. So a lot of these that still exist are missing the other half of the switch. So this is a nice example, a nice piece of Craftsman history. Next up we have the round head fine tooth ratchet. The condition on this guy is pretty rough, but it does work. These are very nice ratchets. Somebody can still get good use out of this. Older V series with the quick release. Next up we've got 3 SK ratchets. The standard round head ratchet, the old classic SK, made for many years. These are 3 different examples from probably different years, and they all actually functioned as is, coming right out of that rusty toolbox. So that's pretty impressive. Definitely a reliable ratchet. Next up we have the Stanley Workmaster. Not much of an impressive piece, just figured I would show it off. And last on the table is a nice snap-on, or at least a nice find. The condition is rough, has owner's marks, rust, all that, but it does work. It has a quick release, which isn't very popular on snap-on ratchets, so that's kind of cool. We got one of the 1/4-inch teardrop style Craftsman ratchets broken. The switch selector broke off. Somebody took it apart, never got around to fixing it. That's going to be a hard part to get. Probably just going to end up being a donor ratchet. The gear is still good, and it does have the retaining clip and the backing plate and the body, so it could be a donor to another broken ratchet. We have 4 stubby handle or screwdriver handle 1/4-inch spinners, Craftsman USA. The one on top is the stubby version, which is harder to find, and the other 3 are the regular version. We have a 3/8 drive breaker bar made by Cal in USA. I'm not very big on Cal tools, but I know there are some people out there that do appreciate them. So it's in good shape, so it's going to probably get moved on to a collector or a user. We got a 1/4-inch breaker bar. Condition's kind of rough. It's an older V series. I believe it was sitting on that side in the toolbox, and it was starting to pit away. So a lot of chrome is missing, but it works. It actually works pretty well. And then we got another tri-wing ratchet, 1/4-inch drive, Craftsman. And finishing off with the ratchets and socket drivers, we have a Thorson 3/8 drive speed crank in pretty excellent condition. Moving on to the adjustable wrenches, I had my eye out for rigid adjustables for a long time. This is an adjustable wrench that I've never gotten to purchase before. They are all USA made. And in this haul we got 6 of them. So we have 3 of the 12-inch, 2 of the 8-inch, and we got a 10-inch. They all work. They're all actually in pretty good condition, aside from the owner's marks. The guy liked to put his initials on it, as well as the year. So even this one, he engraved in here that he bought it in July of 1978. Kind of cool. This one up here is also bought in 1978. Sometimes he marked the tools by year, sometimes he didn't. Owner's marks don't bother me too much. They're adjustable wrenches, they're great tools, they still work. This was a nice find. Proto 16-inch, the 7/16 SL, the professional series. This adjustable wrench came out of one of the smaller toolboxes, and it had 3 coats of paint on it. I think because of the conditions of the barn, he was painting his tools to keep them preserved, and it actually did work. He had painted it 3 times, so it took me a while of wire wheeling and some ultrasonic cleaning, but we got it back to the original steel finish. This was probably a black oxide wrench, and it's going to be a keeper for the collection. Next up is a Fuller 12-inch adjustable wrench. This one is not a USA made model. Still a good tool, but it is made in Japan. Next up is the Adjust-A-Box, made in USA. Kind of like an adjustable wrench, but it's box end. Pretty cool, interesting piece. So you could see as you open it up, you'll get a wide range of size availability. So you can go pretty big with this. You know, the farther you bring that screw out, you're going to have more play. But definitely an interesting tool. I don't think we have a use for it, but it is cool. Then we got 3 more adjustable wrenches. We have an 8-inch TrueCraft made in Japan, 8-inch Crescent USA, and a 6-inch Williams Super Adjustable. Let's take a look at some pliers. Up at the top, we've got 3 pairs of channel lock tongue and groove pliers. These are just, you know, your standard, same thing as the modern models. This one is an older steel handle style with the Champion dearmament logo. So pretty cool, and it's actually in pretty good condition. The next one up is a Diamond Dymalloy tongue and groove plier. Then we have a Craftsman Professional Robo Grip. Got a couple pair of vice grips, got the needle nose style and the 7-inch curved jaw. Then we have the Ward's Master locking pliers. Montgomery Ward tool. Haven't gotten their vice grips before. Over here we have a kind of rusty Wiss tin snips, pretty large size. Next row we have a Velocek battery terminal pliers. Pretty cool find. Next one up is a Champion dearmament slip joint pliers with the kind of interesting jaws there. Next one up is a USA slip joint pliers. Couldn't find the brand. Then we have a Blackhawk pair of slip joint pliers. Nice little thin slip joint style. Followed by a Stanley Handyman. Next up is a German pair of slip joint pliers. I mean, not slip. Actually, yeah, I think they are slip joint pliers. There you go. On the back, you can see the slip joint there. It's got this like knuckle grip here. Kind of interesting. Next up is a Fuller Japan slip joint. Next one up is my favorite pair of pliers for this haul, and definitely a very unique find. That's the Stanley Sweetheart logo. These are very, very rare. You can't even find them on eBay. They do come up occasionally. I looked, nobody has them listed. There are sold comps in the past. People have gotten $115 to $125 for this pair of pliers. Definitely a cool tool. Condition is okay. You know, some rust was on here, but you have the embellished handles with the Stanley logo on both sides. Feels like a nice, good pair of pliers. The rarity and the Stanley Sweetheart collectors definitely drive the price up. Next up is a Crowder slip joint pliers, 6-inch. Then we got some stuff on the bottom row. First off is this pair of pliers made in Poland, kind of like an end nipper or nail puller. Probably nail puller, given that we have a little pry bar here. Interesting, never come across a Poland made tool before. Next up is the Crescent 10-inch gas and burner pliers. Definitely a nice made tool. Followed by another Crescent pair of pliers. We have 9-inch Lyman's pliers, USA made. Then we have a Fuller Lyman's pliers, 8-inch. Followed by a H. Boker USA 8-inch Lyman's pliers. Then we have a pair of cutting pliers made in England, followed by a pair of cutting pliers made by Utica. And last down is a TrueCraft cutting pliers. Then we got some KD tools. We have the hose shut-off pliers. We have a ratcheting snap ring, retaining ring pliers. We got a pair of hose clamp pliers. The one on the end is rebranded Robinair. Probably is the same thing as the KD. And then we have a KD distributor wrench. Now it's time to go to table number 2. First off here, I've got a lot of pipe wrenches and a chain wrench. So we have a Dunlap 14-inch pipe wrench here. We have an 8-inch rigid. We have a trustworthy 8-inch pipe wrench. 2 of the rigid 6-inch offset angle pipe wrenches. Then we have a 6-inch rigid and an 8-inch rigid. And then we have the Craftsman Western Forge chain wrench. We've got a bunch of stuff in here. We'll take a look at that later. just ran out of room, so we'll circle back to that. We got a bunch of screwdrivers, mostly Craftsman. All the Craftsman are USA made. Nothing too special in here. You know, there was a couple of other brands, you know, like this Klein Tools screwdriver. Did get a Craftsman wood chisel. We got the Craftsman cotter pin puller. There's some nut drivers and some torque screwdrivers in here. Just basic stuff. There was 2 of these rigid USA screwdrivers. We got 2 oil filter wrenches made by KD Tools. We got a lot of sockets. Oh boy, there's a lot of them. This guy was a huge Craftsman guy, so we filled these 2 blue bins up full of Craftsman sockets, all Craftsman USA. Sockets, swivel sockets, universal joints, extensions, 3/8, 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch drive. There was 1 impact socket. A lot of stuff, a lot to go through. We got a couple of the sets. We have the 9-piece socket set, 12-point deep 3/8 drive for inch and metric in the original case. We have the 1/2 inch drive deep 6-point sockets for SAE, the 6-piece set, minus 1 that must have gotten lost or broken or something. And we have this 10-piece socket wrench set. I took the ratchet out just to show it to you guys before. One of the sockets in here was replaced with a 12-point, but the rest of it is original, and condition on this stuff is pretty nice. The guy was an engraver, so a lot of his tools are engraved. So not a big deal. It does happen. A lot of guys do that. Got a couple of SK sockets, a nice little bin of them, probably 30, maybe 40 sockets. A couple extensions in there. This is the Miscellaneous bin. These are all the other brands. You know, none of them really added up to any sets or anything, but there's some Proto, Williams, Stanley. There was a couple of snap-on sockets in there, mostly some older stuff. Condition was kind of poor. In the back, though, we have these Utica sockets. So this is like a set. This one here is a 7/8 Utica Lockrite USA. And these are 1/2 inch drive impact sockets, deep, but they're 12-point. So we have 10 pieces. So it sounds like a set. I haven't really looked at it too much in detail yet to see if there is anything missing. This is the junk bin. Anything that was either damaged, lower tier brands, like really low, like China and Taiwan. A lot of that older stuff before they really got a hand on their manufacturing. And then the wrenches over here are either modified, broken, or those older brands from China and Taiwan that were just unbranded, some of that kind of junky stuff. Got a whole bin full of drill bits. That's basically sums that up. Got this little Craftsman bit set, missing a couple pieces, but nice little case. Not sure what I'm going to do with it yet, but not a bad find. And then we got 2 tap wrenches. The one on the bottom is the Craftsman. It's a 14-inch tap wrench made in USA. Takes the larger hex dies that would come in the Craftsman sets. And the other one is just a smaller round style tap wrench or die wrench that has no branding on it. Let's get into some wrenches. We got a lot of them. This is all the stuff that I didn't consider trash. So starting over here in the corner, we have some double box wrenches. At the bottom, we have 4 pieces of the old Flying V with the offset angle, all SAE. Then we've got 6 pieces of the double box slight offset SAE, all USA. 5 of them are the standard length, and 1 of them is the stubby box. Up in the top right corner, we got a couple of miscellaneous things. We have an ignition wrench set, then some loose ignition wrenches, then we have a ratcheting wrench, and then we have a line wrench SAE. We got 3 pieces of the tappet wrenches, all USA V series. I believe this was a 4-piece set, so 1 of them is missing. And then we got some double open wrenches, quite a lot of them. This little section down here is the metric double open and the metric combination. This is all we got for metric wrenches as far as Craftsman goes. Not much, but condition's pretty good. Some nice smaller sizes. We got 4 pieces of the 6-point combination wrenches, the 1/4 inch, 11/32, 3/8, and 5/8. Double open SAE wrenches, got enough to make a set, plus some extras. SAE, pretty good amount of stuff. There's, you know, quite a few of some and just one of some of the others. Combination wrenches for SAE was a total score. We've got several piles of some of the sizes. There's enough here to make at least 4 standard sets with a couple of pluses on both sides, you know, for like the super small stuff like the 1/4 inch and 5/16, and the super large stuff, you know, going into 13/16, 7/8, 15/16. So we'll be able to put 4 sets together. I think if I pull out some of the other ones I have lying around, I can probably make a 5th set. Pretty good. And then there will be some extras. All USA too. So let's switch over to some other brands. We'll start with SK. We got the 3-piece line wrench set, Super Chrome, the SAE kit with pouch. Again, owner's marks. Almost everything in this haul has owner's marks. Got 2 extra pieces of SK line wrenches, the older style. Then we've got a couple of combination box and double open stuff, just random pieces. Some of the Super Chrome stuff, then some of the older raised panel style. Then at the top of the table we have the True Fit and Electrolyte stuff. So a couple pieces, you know, nothing amazing, nothing in sets, but a couple of loose pieces helps people on that come to the eBay store for sure. Helps build sets. Indestro got 6 pieces of the double open wrenches. These are the Indestro Supers. And then we got one of the older Indestro open and box end style wrench. And now it's time for some Bonney stuff. So I know Resto Rob is probably getting all excited now. He's actually going to be the first one to get first pick on these. So we've got a lot of the chrome combination wrenches, pretty much all SAE. Some of them are 6-point, some of them are 12-point. Got the double-sided 12-point line wrench, and on the bottom we got one of these jumbo double open wrenches, the 1739. Talking about the big jumbo wrenches, we got this Krieger 1040. I looked this up and this is a 1940 model. Was made and sent out to the troops in the war, so pretty cool piece of history right there. And last for the wrenches, we've got all of the other brands. Over here in the corner, we have all of the Mac, Snap-on, and Matco stuff, and a Blue Point wrench. Nothing for sets, just random pieces. Condition is okay on some of them, rougher on some of the others. Followed by that, we have this old Ford double box wrench, always a cool find. Got some Barkalow Buffalo stuff. Got a Utica Lockrite. Got 2 pieces of Plum, nice pebble finish combination wrenches. Then we've got some auto kit and related stuff. This one I wasn't sure, it just says Frank and Warren, made in Japan. Not sure what that is for, but we got a Heiko wrench, West Germany. We have this one's labeled Buhl, B-U-H-L, never heard of it. I don't know how to properly say it, but Renault. Nick saying Renault, French. Got HM, got an auto kit wrench here, and 2 Kawasaki wrenches. Next up is the Dunlap stuff. Got a lot of vintage Dunlap tools, some USA made, some made in Japan. Just random pieces. The ratcheting wrench is pretty cool and it works. 4 pieces of Sears wrenches, 1 Taiwan, 3 Japanese. Then we got 2 pieces of Husky USA, followed by 3 pieces of Williams, 2 pieces of New Britain, a Walden, 2 Napa, Calvan, a M. Klein & Sons ratcheting wrench, and a Blackhawk line wrench. Real quick, we'll look at the toolboxes. Nothing too impressive. Condition was kind of, you know, but there was some kind of cool stuff. You know, you got the plastic tough box ratchet. Latches are pretty rusty. You know, not really anything amazing. Next one, Not even sure what brand it used to be or is. Painted several times, very rusty. Same thing with the one in the back. But over on the left side is where it gets a little bit more interesting. We have the Malco USA box. This one is actually in okay condition. Could use a paint job, but logo is still there. That's pretty cool. Little Craftsman box. Nothing special, but you know, it's in okay shape for the Northeast anyways. We get a lot of rust here. This one is probably the coolest, but also very rough. Sears Craftsman with the 2 sliding drawers at the bottom. So very, very rusty. This thing would be only good for parts. There's a tray in here. I'm not sure if that's original or was added. The guy lathered this up in gray paint. Even painted the logo. And it's got the slide out drawers. So I may consider taking the drawer slides out. Possibly trying to save those for somebody that might want to restore one of these. But this box has seen better days. And on the floor over here we have a couple of socket organizers. This was just thrown in with the box. Probably not going to keep them or use them. Probably try to just find somebody to give them away to. They're good usable stuff, but we use a different style of system. So let's take a look at the last bin. I got to make some space, so give me a minute and we'll be right back. Alright, time for the last of it. We've got a bolt cutter over here. I'm not sure of the brand. I haven't had the time to clean it up yet. Guy put a lot of electrical tape on it. I'm not sure if that was just because maybe it was broken or something. It's got a fiberglass handle under there, so not really sure what his purpose of that was. We've got a S-wing, little axe or long hatchet. Not really sure where it fits in between the two of those. Definitely a cool piece, so we're going to keep it. He slathered it up in paint just like everything else, but we should be able to clean it up and resharpen it. Nice little axe. Got this little splitting maul. Seems to be like a cheaper, you know, just Chinese thing. Got this other little axe hatchet. It's got a tag on it that says the IXL group. I'm just not that familiar with that kind of stuff. Sledgehammer, unbranded. S-wing, nice little hammer. Nice one. I like S-wing hammers. I think they are my favorite for carpentry work. This one I believe is a True Temper. Hard to read up there on the logo. Ball peen so far is just unidentifiable. Again, covered in paint. We have this razor knife, X-Acto. Never seen that one before. Feels very comfortable. It is very, you know, form fit to the hand with the little grooves here. Craftsman torpedo level, USA made. Got a rigid tubing cutter. We get a lot of these. Same thing with the little imp, the little tubing cutter. Then we have this Fletcher tool. I'm not familiar with it. I know Fletcher made some glass cutting tools. I'm not sure if that has anything to do with it. And then we got 2 of the Allen folding key sets. We got a Craftsman and a Klein. And I think that sums it up for today's video. Oh, Nick's pointing out I totally just missed the Ridge Tool Company USA made strap wrench. Gotten one of these before. Pretty cool. And that now is everything. So it was quite a haul. It was pretty overwhelming for us. A lot of stuff, and like I said, all this stuff came out of a barn, so the rust was a big thing that we had to fight. We spent 2 days cleaning up all these tools, kind of mixed in between some of the other stuff we've been doing. We've been using our tumbler. We actually went to Harbor Freight and bought the bigger 18-pound tumbler, so that one can actually fit wrenches in it. So we did tumble some of the wrenches, but we ultrasonic cleaned everything except for the XL stuff and the junky stuff. And that definitely helps bring these tools back to a usable condition and a resellable condition. So probably going to end up keeping a couple of cool things, you know, like the 16-inch Proto is something I've been looking for. I will be keeping this rare Craftsman ratchet for my collection. That's something I've been looking for a while. But if there's pretty much anything else that you guys like in this haul, definitely check out the eBay store. All the YouTubers get 10% off. The coupon code is NKEBay10, and that is in the description down below. You just click the link, go on over to the store, get yourself familiar with the store and learn how to use the search function. You know, if you're looking for Snap-on, search Snap-on. If you're looking for Craftsman, search Craftsman. If you want wrenches, you search wrenches, ratchets, you know, use your search words. We have 2,000 listings, so going through them one by one is probably going to take you forever. But we have a lot of stuff available. A lot of this stuff will probably be available by the time the video comes out, and it's first come, first serve. So definitely appreciate the support and the people that do shop at the eBay store. Can't tell you how much that totally helps us out. It is our full enjoyment to pass all these tools on to the next user. We like buying the tools. We even like cleaning the tools, and I love talking about tools and looking at them. But I can't keep all the tools that come in here. Otherwise, we would be just up to our necks in piles and piles of tools and sockets and everything. So we use the eBay store as a way to pass it on. You know, it feels pretty good to get these tools back in working hands. So that's enough for my eBay rant. I want you guys to have a great week, and you know, hope everything goes well. Let us know what your favorite tool of the day is. I think my absolute favorite has to be the Stanley Sweetheart pliers. I was tempted to keep them, but I am not really a Stanley collector as much as I am of mechanics tools, so I'm probably going to pass that on, put it on the eBay store. It will be expensive. This is the rate that these things go for. That's what the collectors are willing to pay. So that's it for today. See you guys on the next one. Bye.